41-6 against Mizzou. So with that in mind, both of them are definitely going and looking for a win today.
Absolutely. So here to start, we have the 157-pound bout with redshirt freshman Jake Danishhek in the red singlet for the Hoosiers, and David Peterslogue, the sophomore from Hillsborough, North Carolina, suiting up for the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
Earlier this season for the Hoosiers.
Early on, it looks like Danishhek will be taking on an opponent that he didn't know for sure who he was going to be wrestling at first, but I think here we go. We have a stalemate just about a minute into the first match of the day. So who is Jake Danishhek? Who is he for the Hoosiers?
Jake Danishhek is definitely, we're looking at him, like we said, redshirt freshman, Lebanon, Ohio. He is the LHU Classic champion coming out of this earlier in the season. He's coming off of a loss against Rutgers. He lost to Richie Lewis, ranked number 12, against number 15 Rutgers last time out. So he's definitely coming in looking for a win. And his overall record at this point is 14-8, but he has never seen David Peterslogue before because this is the first time these two schools have seen each other at all. So he may not necessarily know what to expect.
Absolutely. So he's won at both number 6 Michigan and number 7 Ohio State this season. But going up against David Peterslogue, who is a sophomore but has some experience himself, coming off of 2 team undefeated seasons and 2 state titles at the team level in high school. So for the 25th ranked Mountaineers, this will be a pretty big matchup already just about halfway through the first period. No wrestler has really gained the upper hand so far, as it seems, as you said, Amanda, that these two teams are just feeling each other out early on because they have never met, the first time being here today in the NWCA Division I Championship Series. Got the two wrestlers in the neutral position. And not only are they matched equally in weight, but they are also equally matched in height, as Danishhek has a bit of an advantage, which will hopefully allow him to pull some stronger moves as he looks to overpower Peterslogue later on in this match. Move back to the center of the mat. Danishhek. Good defense by Peterslogue there. And there will be a reset in the middle of the mat here. You see Danishhek. And that brings us to the end of the first period. Scoreless still. And we have Peterslogue will defer to the third period, and Danishhek will start down. We've got Peterslogue starting in the up position on top here as the second period will get started.
Caution on David Peterslogue.
And Peterslogue is called for a caution, moving a little bit too early.
We're definitely thinking that Danishhek might have an upper hand at this because he has a pretty good odd of getting a point on an escape coming out of this opening.
Absolutely. That is the second caution by Peterslogue. So we will see the referee, Jeff Cook, step a little bit closer to keep an eye on some of those infractions.
Caution on David Peterslogue.
3 straight cautions on David Peterslogue. Oh, scratch that. 2 cautions on Peterslogue and 1 on Danishhek. And that's why, right there, it was a quick movement to gain this upper hand as we enter the second period.
An outstanding partner of the 2016 NWCA Division I National Dual Championship Series, the few, the proud, the Marines.
You can hear the screams of support from both the Appalachian State bench and the Indiana bench here in the University Gymnasium. The referee just indicated that Danishhek is in control. Peters Logue doing whatever he can to remain in control, but Danishhek, good mat awareness.
1 point escape.
And he
Danishhek.
gets the 1 point escape as they go off the mat into the out-of-bounds territory. And there's Danishhek with an early 1 point lead.
On Danishhek.
Going about a minute left in this second period. Peters Logue starting on top again. Danishhek hoping to get another escape here in the second period to expand upon this lead and get his team the victory. And this National Wrestling Coaches Association series was actually started not just as a matchup between two key teams, but what is the history behind this series itself?
Well, looking at what they've been doing here, they actually had originally set this up as a tournament, but instead decided that this would be a better way to set up something more convenient, especially so close to when the championship tournaments, NCAA, Big Ten, SoCon are all coming up. As such, this has actually been going on since Friday. The first matchup we had was Iowa State v. Minnesota, where Minnesota took the lead 30-10. And last night, Rutgers lost to Lehigh 18-15. So today, this is actually our first meet today of 4. There will also be Penn State v. Oklahoma State, Michigan v. Virginia Tech, and Nebraska v. Missouri today.
Absolutely, so some good wrestling being set up for us later on in this series as we've got a little bit of blood time. Some blood was left on the mat, so we'll get that cleaned up. But as you were saying, some very good matchups, not only later on in this series in general, but also a big matchup today between Penn State and Oklahoma State, two perennial teams that compete for the national championship every single year. And we also had Ohio State take the team national championship last season as a bit of a surprise. So the Big Ten has always been a powerful conference when it comes to wrestling, but this NWCA dual series really allows for some competition outside of the Big Ten to come and see what they're made of against these amazing Big Ten wrestling schools.
That's for sure. Looks like we're getting back into it right now. Here we go.
And Danishhek will definitely be looking for another escape here if possible. But he and Peters Logue are in a bit of a stalemate almost, as Peters Logue is accumulating some of that ever-critical riding time over Danishhek here as the second period draws to a close with just a few seconds left. Danishhek will end as he started underneath David
Hoosier
Peters Logue.
fans on your feet and make some noise for Jake Danishhek at the start of the third period.
And there's a bit of an uptick in the atmosphere here in University Gymnasium as these Hoosier fans are rallying for Jake Danishhek to make some sort of a movement here going into the third period.
Both coaches up on their feet right now. Dwayne Goldman has been with IU as the head coach for 23 years. And over there, John Mark Bentley, 6 years head coach for App State.
Absolutely, and they'll definitely be looking to set the tone, not only in this match in general at the 157-pound level, but also really to set the tone for the entire day of matchups as we have 10. And like you said, there are some very critical matchups later on, not only with Nate Jackson at 174, but also at the lightweight 125-pound matchup between Elijah Oliver and Vito Pizzone. Got the two wrestlers in the neutral position as Danishhek will try and get some points back as Peters Logue has a 1 point advantage here after that early third period escape. We see Danishhek pulling a single leg here and 2 points for the takedown with about a minute remaining in the third period.
One point escape, Peters Logue.
Peters Logue with a 1 point escape there though, as he looks to keep his hope alive here in the third period. Good mat awareness by both wrestlers though, as they're working the outer edge of the circle looking to draw an out-of-bounds call, hopefully to get a reset. Danishhek has definitely been the aggressor here in the third period. As 30 seconds remain, and there he goes with the single leg takedown. 2 points for Danishhek. And he's keeping that right foot inside of the red. And we will reset in the middle with just about 15 or 16 seconds left in this third period. So we've got Danishhek up 2 points with about a quarter minute left, and he will see if he can accumulate just a little bit of riding time here to offset this escape that Peters Logue is trying to mount.
And put IU on the board so that we can go into 165 pounds with redshirt freshman Bryce Martin and Forrest Frisbes. And it looks like it's going to be.
And that is a 1 point. 1 point for Peters Logue there at the end. And we have a bit of confusion here at the scores table. And there is Danishhek. Reset. Peters Logue has the one leg of Danishhek, but Danishhek is not letting him go easy. And there's Peters Logue trying to mount that grip.
2-point takedown.
And he gets a 2-point takedown and the victory over Jake Danishhek in the first 157-pound bout in this NWCA duels matchup.